I don't really like the way either of them summarize it. Like when Finkelstein says they said it's plausible they're committing genocide, they didn't mean that as in like it's likely, like, oh my God, like they're just saying that like they have standing for the case. But I think South Africa was looking for, hey, the ICJ needs to tell Israel to stop their war, and the ICJ did not issue that ruling. They gave them permission essentially to continue conducting the warfare, but they just said you have to adhere to international law and you have to submit a report by the end of the month to say if you're committing genocide or not, basically. This is what South Africa was requesting. The state of Israel shall immediately suspend its military operation. They shall ensure that any military or regular armed units which may be directed, supported, or influenced by, as well as any organizations and persons which may be subject to its control, direction, or influence, take no steps in furtherance of the military operations, desist from killing members of a group, blah, blah, blah. This is what they were asking for, basically, to stop, yeah. Keep in mind for this, at the present stage of the proceedings, the court is not required to ascertain whether any violations of Israel's obligations under the Geneva Convention has occurred, because it's just a pre-trial hearing, basically. They didn't issue the injunction that South Africa was looking for, saying that you have to stop all of your military activity. They basically just say, yeah, make sure you're not committing genocide, but yeah, that's it, yeah.
When you wage a war against whether it's the Nazis or Hamas, a lot of civilians tragically will get killed in the process, but ultimately that shouldn't stop you going ahead with the war to try and achieve your goal. What do you say to that?
What I would say to that is there's a very good reason why this case was brought before the International Court of Justice. If you put all of these metrics together and you add in the context, there is a very good reason why Israel was brought before the International Court of Justice.
The ICJ, the International Court, never ruled against Israel. Now notice he's saying that South Africa brought the case. They lost the case, first point. So I've been attacking his credibility. He is only known because he's a Jewish anti-Semite. This is the 5th time he accused Israel of genocide. He started in 1982 in Lebanon. Now, what does genocide mean? It was coined by a Holocaust survivor in 1947 named Raphael Lemkin. Geno is an ethnicity. Side means murder. It is the murder of an ethnicity. Norm needs to make the case that Israel is slaughtering Palestinians because they're Palestinians and Arabs and Muslims. Well, then how does Israel have 1.9 million totally safe Israeli citizens? Why is that none of the Israeli Arabs have risen up to stop this genocide? Because it has nothing to do with
an ethnicity. Let me ask you this.
It has to do with a date called October 7th.
Let me ask you this.
1,200 Jews were shot in the genitals, burned to death, slaughtered, and no democracy should allow that, except for one person, Norman Finkelstein.
The focus here is that he is right, though, in that genocide very specifically denotes a desire to eliminate a certain group of people. There is a specific mens rea or intentionality behind genocide and killing lots of people. None of the things here that Norm said puts you any closer to genocide. Intensity of the bombing, density of the bombing, magnitude with the destruction of civilian, whatever. None of this gets you closer to genocide. Like even if the civilian deaths were 1 million, right? Technically, if like Israel was just indiscriminately bombing the out of Palestine to kill Hamas, there might be war crimes. It might be. It might be a grave situation. There might be a ton of like international stuff violated, but like genocide is specifically referring to the intention to destroy a group of people. Yeah, that's what you want to focus on. But both of these guys are just like yapping.